Welcome to Tracking IPDA. Price action this week was amazing to watch. It offered us back to back setups. Started the week off with two losses on Tuesday, which taught me a few things about the model. For example, I didn't know how long to wait from the formation of the model to the entry not being tagged. So the model's formed, entry criteria has been met, but we don't get tagged in a trade. How long do I wait until the market does what it needs to do for it to come back and tag me in? I learned that this week. Pretty good thing to know when to realize that the trade is no longer valid to get in and to delete the limit order. Finished the week strong with a 7% increase in equity. In dollar signs, we're talking about $1,780. And overall, we're still up on the account 24.8%, which is $6,190. Let's get to hunting. Grab your tools. As always, we'll be looking at the charts in bar replay mode. This means you won't be able to see my executions. However, you will be able to see my horizontal lines, which represent the time aspect of trading, okay? The most important tool you need to track IPDA's movement. Time. Now remember, even though I'm going to show you both buy and sell setups, it's important to know that your high probability trades will be in the direction of your weekly program. You can take counter trend trades with this model. For example, you can take sell setups even if your higher time frame directional bias is bullish, and vice versa. It's just your probability of winning decreases significantly when you go against your higher time frame program. We're going into this hunt with the understanding that you guys have already arrived at your higher time frame directional bias. This is a hunt purely for just subs, okay? To the hunt. Let's go. Tuesday, May 28th, trade of the day breakdown. We had a PM session buy formation. As you can see, we had medium and high impact news come out in the morning. We had price trade below a kilo lunch session. Displacement higher causing a market structure shift. The displacement leg has a fair value gap busy near the swing low. We wait for a swing high to form to anticipate execution. For execution, we're looking to enter on the fair value gap created in the displacement leg near the equilibrium of the range. And as you can see, we have a fair value gap right here near the 50%. You would have been tagged in this trade at 216, get taken out of that trade at 221. Total time in that trade was 5 minutes. Drawdown in that trade was 58 tick for a negative 2%. Even though you took a loss, that's fine. Charge to the game, keep it pushing, part of the game, okay? Let's look at factors that made this a high probability setup. First, we have the time aspect, is the PM session. We have the range, we're in the middle to lower quadrant discount for a buy, check. And then we also have liquidity created right in front of the BISI 3 out of 3, making this a high probability setup. And even though it resulted in a loss, that is part of the game. Losing is a one thing promised to traders, okay? That's Tuesday, May 28th, trade of the day breakdown. Start the week off with the L, no worries. Tuesday, May 28th, we also had another buy formation form in the PM session. Let's break this one down. We already had the news come out in the morning. As you can see, we take liquidity below a kilo. Displacement higher causing a market structure shift above the kilo. The displacement leg has a fair value gap busy near the swing low. We're waiting for a swing high to form to anticipate execution. For execution, we're looking to enter on a fair value gap created near or at the equilibrium of the range. And as you can see, we had a fair value gap near the 50%. You would have been tagged in this trade at 322, breaking even at 325, getting out of that trade same time as the break even, 325, for a total time of 3 minutes in this trade. Drawdown in this trade was 2 ticks for 6% bagged and tagged. Let's look at factors that made this a high probability setup. As always, we're looking for 2 out of the 3 between time, range, and liquidity to be present to consider it a plus setup. We have the time aspect, we're in the PM session, and we also have the range, we're in the middle to lower quadrant for buy, in a discount for buy. 2 out of the 3 matching up here to make this a high probability trade. Netting you 6%. Wednesday, May 29th, trade of the day breakdown. We had an AM session buy formation. As you can see, we had news coming out, medium impact news coming out at 10. Post 10 o'clock is when we're looking for a signal to get on a trade. We're actually looking to enter the market post 10:10. As you can see, we had price trade below a kilo. Liquidity was taken below a kilo, displacement higher causing the market structure shift. The displacement leg has a fair value gap busy near the swing low. We're waiting for a swing high to form to anticipate execution. We had the swing high confirmed after this candle closure. Confirmed the swing high. We have a fair value gap busy near the 50% of the range. you would have been tagged in this trade at 10.22, breaking even at 10.25, getting that trade at 10.34 for a total time of 12 minutes in this trade. Drawdown on this trade was 42 ticks for a 6%. Bagged and tagged, you're coming home with me. Let's look at factors that made this trade a high probability setup. We have the time aspect, the AM session, post 1010. Check the range. We're in the middle to lower quadrant for a buy, in a discount for a buy. Check no liquidity created, but we have 2 out of the 3 matching up, making this a high probability setup, netting you 6%. Thursday, May 30, trade of the day breakdown. We had a AM session sell formation form. As you can see, we had news coming out 8:30 and 10 a.m. After 10 o'clock is when we're looking for the signal to enter the market. And as you can see, we had price trade above a key high. We took liquidity above a key high. Displacement lower, causing a market structure shift. The displacement leg has a fair value gap CB near the swing high. We're waiting for a swing low to form to anticipate execution. For execution, we're looking to enter on a fair value gap created in the displacement leg near the EQ of the range. And as you can see, we had the fair value gap right here at the EQ of the range. You would have been tagged in this trade at 10.16, breaking even at 10.43, get taken out that trade at 11.04 for a total time of 48 minutes in this trade. Drawdown in this trade was 39 ticks for a 6% bag and tag. Let's look at factors that made this a high probability trade. First, we have the time aspect is AM session post 1010. We range, we're in the upper to middle quadrant of the range. We're in the premium for a sell. Check. No liquidity created in front of this CB, but we do have liquidity created in front of this CB. But you're entering here, no liquidity technically. But anyway, we still have 2 things matching up to make this a high probability setup. Fun fact, this was the trade that passed me my 50K combined with Top Step. I'm officially a certified funded trader. Let's go. Also on Thursday, we had a lunch session buy formation form. It's rare that we get lunch session setups, but they do happen. Let's break it down. As always, we start with the news. We had the news come out in the morning at 8:30 and 10. Lunch session starts. We had price trade below a key low. We take liquidity below a key low. Displacement higher, causing a market structure shift. The displacement leg has a fair value gap busy near the swing low. We're waiting for a swing high to form to anticipate execution. For execution, we're looking to enter on a fair value gap created in a displacement leg that took structure at or near the 50% range. Okay, as you can see, we had the fair value gap at the 50% level right here. So you would have been tagged in this trade at 12.08, breaking even at 1:11, getting out that trade at 1:42 for a total time of 1 hour 34 minutes in this trade. Drawdown in this trade was 13 ticks for a 6% bag and tag. Let's look at factors that made this a high probability setup. We had the time aspect, this lunch session. I usually don't trade the lunch session, but you can trade the lunch session. It's just it's up to you. So time aspect, we had the lunch session, check. Range, we're in the discount of the range for a buy, check. No liquidity created in front of the busy, but we do have 2 out of the 2 time and range matching up to make this a high probability trade. Friday, May 31st, trade of the day breakdown. Now you guys know how I feel about trading on Fridays. But anyway, let's break down this trade. We had high and medium impact news coming out in the morning, 8:30 and 9:45. We had a PM session sell formation form. As you can see, PM session started right here, 1:30. We had price trade above a key high. Lunch session high takes that. Displacement lower, causing the market structure shift. Multiple structures were taken. The displacement leg has a fair value gap CB near the swing high. We're waiting for a swing low to form to anticipate execution. As you can see, we had the swing low form right here. This candle, once this candle closed, it would have confirmed this swing low, then you'll be anticipating execution. For execution, we're looking to enter on a fair value gap created in the displacement leg that caused the market structure shift at or near the 50%. We had the fair value gap CB right here near the 50%. You would have been tagged in this trade at 1:45, breaking even at 2:31, taking out that trade at the same time as the break even, 2:31 for a total time of 56 minutes. Drawdown in this trade was 29 ticks for a 6% bagged and tagged. Let's consider factors that made this a high probability setup. First, we look at the time. It's PM session. Check. We have the time aspect. The range, we're in the middle to upper quadrant on premium for a sell, check. We also have liquidity created right here in front of the CB, check 3 out of 3, making this a high probability trade, which netted you 6%. Friday trade, I'm not really big on trading Friday, but it's totally up to you. Trading is a solo sport. If you're down for taking trades on Friday, you're down for taking trades on Friday. Like I always say, you don't have to break even either. You can leave the trade stop loss to 1 to 3 and just forget about it. Breaking even is something I do personally. Anyway, that wraps it up for tracking IPDA this week. Hopefully you guys learned something and you enjoyed this one. This week was amazing. I became a funded trader. It just proved to me that I'm on the right path and I'm doing the right things and to keep going. See you guys next week for tracking IPDA.